On the remote island of Blanquilla, off the coast of Venezuela, there was a small fishing village surrounded by turquoise waters and white sandy beaches. The villagers lived simple lives, relying on the sea for their sustenance. But beneath the beauty of the island lay a dark secret, one that had been whispered about for generations. It all began with a pearl so large and luminous that it seemed to glow with an otherworldly light. The pearl was said to have been discovered by a young fisherman named Mateo, who had been diving for conch shells when he stumbled upon a hidden cave deep beneath the waves. Inside the cave, nestled among the bones of long-dead sailors, was the pearl. It was the size of a hen's egg, with a surface so smooth it felt like glass, and it shimmered with hues of blue, green, and silver. Mayo, thinking he had found a treasure that would change his life forever, brought the pearl back to the village. The villagers were awestruck by its beauty, but the elders warned him to return it to the sea. That pearl is cursed, they said. It belongs to the sea goddess Yemaya. If you keep it, you will bring misfortune upon us all. But Mateo, blinded by greed, ignored their warnings. He sold the pearl to a wealthy merchant from the mainland, who in turn sold it to a European collector. The money Mateo received was more than he had ever dreamed of, but it came at a terrible cost. The curse begins the very night Mateo sold the pearl. A violent storm swept across the island. The winds howled like a banshee, and the waves rose as high as mountains, crashing against the shore with a fury that seemed almost sentient. The villagers huddled in their homes, praying to Yemaya for mercy. When the storm finally subsided, the village was in ruins. Boats were shattered, homes were destroyed, and several fishermen were missing, presumed drowned. Mikhail, however, was unarmed. He convinced himself that the storm was a coincidence, but deep down he knew. Better, over the next few weeks, strange things began to happen. Fish disappeared from the waters around the island, leaving the villagers without food. Livestock died mysteriously in the night, their bodies drained of blood. And every evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, a mournful wailing could be heard coming from the sea. The villagers blamed Mateo, accusing him of bringing the curse upon them. Desperate to make amends, he decided to retrieve the pearl and return it to the sea. But when he traveled to the mainland to find the merchant, he discovered that the man had died in a freak accident, and the pearl had been lost. The haunting of Blanquilla. Years passed, and the curse continued to plague the island. The once thriving village became a ghost town, its inhabitants either dead or driven away by the relentless misfortune. Mateo, now an old man, lived alone in a crumbling shack on the edge of the village. He spent his days staring out at the sea, haunted by guilt and regret. One night, as a full moon cast eerie glow over the island, Mateo heard a voice calling his name. It was soft and melodic, yet filled with an undeniable sadness. He followed the sound to the beach, where he saw a figure standing in the shallows. It was a woman, her skin as pale as the moon, her hair long and dark, flowing like seaweed in the water. Her eyes glowed with an unnatural light, and in her hand she held the cursed pearl. "Mateo," she said, her voice echoing in his mind. "You took what was mine, now you must pay the price." Terrified, Mateo fell to his knees and begged for forgiveness. But the woman, Yemaya, the sea goddess, showed no mercy. She raised her hand, and the waves surged forward, engulfing Mateo and dragging him into the depths. The last thing he saw before the darkness took him was the pearl glowing brighter than ever, as if laughing at his folly. The legend lives on too. This day the cursed pearl is said to lie hidden in the waters around the Blanquilla, waiting for the next foolish soul to claim it. Locals swear that on stormy nights, the ghost of Mateo can be seen wandering the beach searching for the pearl in a vain attempt to undo his mistake. And sometimes if you listen closely, you can hear the mournful wailing of Yimaya. A reminder that some treasures are better left untouched. So if you ever find yourself on a remote Caribbean island and stumble upon a pearl that seems too beautiful to be real, remember the tale of Mateo and the cursed pearl of La Blanquilla, for the sea is both bountiful and vengeful, and its treasures often come with a price too terrible to pay. Beware the call of the deep.